Hello and welcome to CAGET, and today we're playing Monolith Defense in Roblox. Now, if you don't know, Monolith Defense is a Roblox tower defense game, and that's some interesting mechanics. So, you know how I play a lot of tower defense games on my channel to the point where I basically played a large majority of Roblox's ones. Of course, some of them I play off camera, because I recorded a video on them, and the other ones, for example, like I have, other tower defense games in Roblox, for example, I've never, played, so I haven't played, everyone. But I play a lot of them. Like, there's a few that I won't play, I think it's, All-Star Tower Defense. Because it's, anime-based, I don't know, what it's based off of, if that makes sense. But I play a lot of Roblox tower defense games. So I like comparing them to each other, because a lot of them have similar ideas, some of them have similar ideas, some of them have unique ideas. I want to kind of give it, you as community fan base, which character games have, so you can find maybe another tower defense that isn't Tower Defense Simulator to try, Anyway, so the first thing to mention about Monolith Defense is it uses a loot box sort of system similar to All-Star Tower Defense, where you basically spend some cash to get randomly selected tower. However, you can get all the towers, all the loot box towers at least, at anytime you want. There's two categories of things you can get from. There's the one that can get every tower in the game. However, the odds for getting any tower in the game is very low. But getting the one you specifically want, so for example, you can get anything in the game, in that one box. Besides Snowman, which I'll explain how to get later. Snowman's the event tower, just so you know. So that's probably the reason why, But the other one to explain is, the other system on top of that is that there's 4 categories of towers, like groups of towers, like there's military towers, for example. For example, the cadet, which is the red thing on my team. Let's call Marine, which is the blue thing on my team. And 50 cal is the giant turret-looking thing on my team. All 3 of those are part of the military group. The Snowman is part of a new tree that is just added, and the other thing that's a really weird shape above the 50 cal and below the Marine. It's called a radiation emitter. It's part of a different category of towers, but I like to use, for me, I like to use military towers, just because, in this game there's tower trees, okay? For example, you have military tree, you have aquatic tree, which you don't use anything on, which are fish towers, all the things in aquatic tree are, water placement. You have radiation tree, which is, everything in that tree can give you a radiation effect. And you have, I forget what the other tree's called, but it's like a snow-like tree. It's what Snowman's in. And there's also a general tree, which no tower is part of the general tree. General tree is useful for any tree, I'll explain that later. But no tower is part of it. So Snowman as a tower, what you get is you get these 5,500 snowflakes from playing the Christmas event. And then you can just follow by it. But on top of getting the towers from a loot box, of course some days it'll be your military, aquatic, or radiation. It alternates every day, which tree there is. And you can only get towers from that tree, so you have a higher chance of getting what you want. For example, I want Atomic Lizard, which is a tower I don't have in the game yet, the one tower I don't have, basically. But if I, for example, wanted to get Atomic Lizard, I can wait until the Atomic category comes around, and save up cash for that. It's every 3 days so the category comes back around. And if this keep spending until I eventually get Atomic Lizard, because there's a much higher chance I wait for that in the Atomic category. Or Radiation category, Yeah, this builder man area that's showing up on screen, that's very hard. I legit had to develop a strategy just spamming the start. Cadet is the starting tower in the game. Cadet and Sniper, but yeah. Anyway. So why are the towers cut in the trees? Well, first off, the general tree, so you use these point systems. Every time you get a level, you get a tech point. And every 5 levels, you get an advanced tech point. These are used for getting upgrades in the game. That's how you in the match, you upgrade normally, but there's a lot of things that you can get from these tech points that you use. Is super useful, but you only gain 1 of them per upgrade. And the advanced tech points that you get on top of the normal tech point, but it's at a level, but still, they're super useful in the game, and they use them for almost everything. So, for example, you say your general tree. If I use only 2 or 3 tower slots, you can use tech points to get a 4th and 5th tower slot. But if you're upgrading the general tree, or you can get an ability slot or a second ability slot. Abilities like the Cadet Drop or to Tsunami ability. which are really helpful. You know, so general tree is mainly unlocking like new. You know what? You should probably finish general tree, and then decide to choose a tree you want to work on. Like once you have some idea what type of towers you like to use. For example, I like using military towers, which you start with 2 military towers, which is kind of funny, but yeah. So then I need to work on the military tree. So that's where you get cadet drop as ability from. You can also get things like there's other things you get in the tree. For example, you can get upgrades that boost all your military towers, like maybe +1 piercing. There's something like armor effect. So the piercing will make it so you do more damage even if there's armor effect. Or +1 damage, +1 range to all military towers. There's actually one that requires level 25 to unlock, which is Army of the Future, which gives every military tower an extra upgrade, which I just unlocked and was testing out in this match. So yeah, the 750 upgrade for cadet, that's part of this thing. But yeah, anyway, on top of upgrading trees, like there's a quad tree, for example, you get Tsunami's ability from. So you have to put a few points in the quad if you want that. It's really good, and I'm thinking of just upgrading Tsunami's ability before I do anything else. But yeah, interesting, right? But yeah, so that's an example kind of like what these trees can do. But you can also upgrade the base tower itself. Like there's 2 ways to do that. Of course, you can use tech points on the tower. So upgrading the tower tree, you can upgrade the tower, for example. If you upgrade cadet, you can give it cadet +1 range, maybe +1 damage. I know the last one makes this every 4th shot, it uses extra shot, like without even having to wait a little bit. So that's pretty powerful. So on top of buffing the towers by upgrading the military tree for cadet, which buffs all military towers including cadet, you can also get buff cadet by using tech points on cadet itself, and which can use even special effects for the tower. For example, I think Devil Man, for example, actually gets armor removal as an ability if you work on its tree. But yeah, anyway, here's another thing too, is the fact that, on top of that, you can also, if you get multiple copies of tower, which you can do, you can prestige it. So it says at prestige 0, and if you prestige a tower, it buffs the tower. But sometimes a few glitches of prestiging, like what I mean is for example, Snowman. Because that wasn't really intended for people to get so many copies of it, because that's really hard to get a copy. So when you get the tier 3 and 4 Snowman, happens. So apparently upgrade 3 is better than upgrade 4 on Snowman, because it actually nerfs the range, which is kind of funny. Yeah, there's a Tsunami ability, by the way. That's an example of a glitch with that, Yeah, that's an example of a glitch with prestiging. Sometimes, both at prestige shooter or whatever, it actually, there's a glitch where acid spitter will actually what's it called? Will actually lose the damage point. There's some little glitches of that, so it might be so unless you're using the tower a lot, I recommend prestiging it because it actually there's a chance it can make it weaker because of that glitch, and that was reported on the Discord all the time, so they're probably gonna be fixed. It's actually a funny glitch with worm enemy in this specific mode I'm playing right now that can push your towers around if it was too close to the road. But I actually found an interesting glitch with that. So that same glitch, you can actually push the NPCs on a map called Night Market around, which isn't the map I'm playing, but it's super funny. Because you just get far enough with the amalgam, it'll push one NPC all the way to the end of your path if you like. It's super funny. But yeah, anyway. And yes, I do die in this match. You get to wait 35. This one's 40 waves, it's the hardest one in the game. It's really hard to solo, but if you also have a full team of people, it's also even harder of a full team, because in this game, enemies scale. For example, the Christmas event gets super hard, because the scaling was super overly broken in Christmas. It's scaled, the enemy has 30 HP, it's over 100, it has a massive swarm of them. They actually had to fix the scaling in that event. Oh, so I get Snowman, which I just want Snowman unlocked. I didn't really care about prestiging it, because, like I said, the Snowman glitch of prestiging, but yeah. Anyway, so of course you can upgrade the tower's upgrade route tree, you can also upgrade the tower itself with tech points, and you get multiple copies of the tower, you can also upgrade that as well. So another thing to mention, so now we mentioned all the interesting mechanics of this game, let's talk about the game modes. You have noob difficulty, which has like noob-like enemies. Noob difficulty is pretty interesting. It's not really the best in the grind. It's best to just try to beat an amalgam, which is what I'm doing, because I just need to get a few more points on some of my towers. I think I can beat amalgam. But yeah, amalgam, for example, is the hardest one. The one we're playing right now available. But noob is just a generic difficulty. I think the final boss is swole noob. We have aquatic, which has a shrimp-like enemy for the final boss. Aquatic has things like the crabs, tuna, other things like that. And you have amalgam. Amalgam, for first starts throwing off corrupted versions of amalgam versions of pre-existing mobs. Like you have corrupt amalgam noob, or like amalgam infected tuna, or you have things like other towers are things are corrupted, like there's a two-headed fish, which is a corrupted version of of salmon, for example. And let's start getting farther on, let's start getting amalgam unique enemies, like not just reskin from the normal with some stat changes, which is by the point where we're at right now in the game. But yeah, and actually the interesting thing this game does is that the shorter maps actually give you better rewards. But yeah, which is kind of interesting. So the shorter maps give you better rewards. But yeah. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, this game has some interesting. I like the idea we can actually upgrade towers and have tech trees and stuff. I think that's a really cool idea. I don't know about the prestiging though, because that's like, I don't have any problem with prestiging. My problem is the fact that you get multiple copies of the tower, which I feel like will be okay if it's more systems from toy vendors, which like once you buy a tower, you can buy it multiple times to make that copy stronger. The copy is stronger, but I don't like that you only have a loot box system in the towers. But other than that, this game's amazing. It's an alpha though, which is why there's so many bugs. This is a brand new game. It just recently came out. The Christmas updates are one of the first bigger updates that I've sort of played for the game through. The update will go almost every other day just to fix bugs, which is kind of funny. But yeah. Anyway, and this is getting to the, I'm actually thinking that maybe, I probably should cut the audio with this video, but yeah. Anyway. But yeah. I'm referring to cutting the gameplay audio. So I forgot to mute the music. But yeah, as the game goes to there's Snowman, the event tower. It'll actually show the second tower for the category of tower which Snowman's in, which is probably going to be coming in the second part of the Christmas event. But yeah, this is the end of the video. Remember to like and subscribe to CAGET on YouTube. And please subscribe, I really need more subscribers. And peace.